I'm Barry James. I'm the chair of the British Blockchain Industry Association. I think it's important because it has so many different uses and use cases, and it's also a very difficult technology to get your head around in the first place. So what we're finding is that people who are even in the industry, it's moving very quickly, much quicker than the web revolution. And actually the edge is, the leading edge is moving very quickly too. So people are, have a pressing need to understand the new use cases, the new, the improvements in the technology. And the thing we're being asked for all the time is, how can I network? How can I find my peers and the people who I might want to work with, or I might want to get involved in my team or to advise my business or whatever. And that's the big pressing need. There's a huge skills gap and it's accelerating very quickly. Okay, so we're very new. The core of the organisation is going to be the network. However, we fulfil all the functions, we will be fulfilling all the functions you would expect of an industry association. So that's representing the industry and the professionals within the industry and the potential to government and regulators in the world. But we also aspire, as well as an organisation, to be a modern organisation, to be very open, and to represent the public good as well. So those are kind of new and a little bit different. And we're going to be running hackathons and events. We will be helping to enable some of those type of consultancy type activities as well. That will all emerge over time then. Yeah, I mean, even though we're very new, we already have some relationships there with the Crypto Assets Task Force and elsewhere. I myself have been involved in pushing for smarter regulation that's more supportive of innovation over the last 6 or 7 years. In 2012, I was the first one to come up with the idea and publish the idea of creating an innovation unit within the regulator, and everyone laughed. They're not laughing now, because we actually now have that. It took 2 years. We worked very hard on campaigning for that in Parliament and elsewhere, and that's proved decisive for fintech. We have the sandboxes which have come out of that process that we helped kick off. So it's kind of ongoing, and I think there's huge opportunity here. I mean, one of the things is it's gradually dawning now that the kind of regulators have looked at cryptocurrencies and they've looked at blockchain, and it takes a while for them to digest that. But it's gradually dawning. It's not blockchain itself, and I think they prefer to call it DLT, and there's a whole range of stuff in there. Permissioned and non-permissioned and public and so on. But they're realising that actually it's a very powerful tool for regulation and can bring transparency, which actually makes things in terms of regulation and audit and all the rest of it a lot real time and very smooth. So there's huge potential in that area. Yeah, so I can't say too much about this until we launch, but I'll give you a little flavour. So we are outward looking in terms of being global, and we want, as an association, to be part of the process of enabling, Britain to help lead the world in this in a good way. One of my themes or obsessions even is transparency. And the only reason the blockchain works is because it's built on open source code and it's transparent and so on. That's in its foundations. And actually, we've already done this in earlier iterations twice already. We've given the world a legal system that's based on open courts, where evidence is presented and so on, and that's been part of our gift to the world. We have the Mother of Parliaments, where things are debated openly. And yes, okay, both of those things have their faults, but actually this potentially is part of us bringing transparency in a new way to the world. And a part of my vision for this is, when Bitcoin was created, blockchain was created almost unassumingly, in order for it to work. But part of the desire was to create stuff for us, for the people, and global public infrastructure. And I think part of the real opportunity here is for us to work together to create, we've had toll roads, we've got lots of toll roads, particularly in the financial system and other places as well, which are chiefly for the benefit of those who provide them. The customers, obviously, and a lot of money flows. But actually, in a lot of these areas, why wouldn't we? Why can't we now have highways? Global public infrastructure, national public infrastructure, or even local. I think we've got plenty of both. Who's better in this space? I think ultimately we do need both, but we need the pragmatism. So people talk to me and say, "Are you an evangelist for blockchain?" Well, in a sense, I am. But actually, when it comes right down to it, it's not about the technology; it's about what it can do. So I'm actually more of an enthusiast and evangelist for innovation. And the distinction is, it's not about the bits and bytes or how it's done. It's about the potential of creating a better world, a freer world, a more equal world, taking away friction and the costs that go with that, and becoming more open and inclusive.